Happy Friday. Welcome to this week's marketing training inside of Get Booked Out. So happy you're here. We have over 100 new faces in this group since last week. So if this is your first time joining, hi. Thank you for being here. I'm so happy to have you as part of Get Booked Out. This is an incredible, supportive, thoughtful community that I am just so honored to get to honestly just be a part of. My name's Anna. I am a marketing and web strategist, and I support therapists and counselors who are in private practice and who want to get booked out with clients they love and who love them. That is what everything we do in this group is about. It's what everything I do with my one-on-one clients is about, and I love getting to see the success that you get to enjoy as a result of being empowered around your marketing. I want you to leave this group and leave these trainings and really get out of this community not just what to do with your marketing, but why to do it. And if all you need is a couple free trainings to be successful, I'm so thrilled for that. The goal is never, and I really don't believe that practitioners need to spend thousands and thousands of dollars or, always use Google ads or whatever that is. This group is about understanding why marketing works and then you being able to decide what works for you in order to grow your practice. So thank you for being here. Today we're talking about blogging. Blogging is a really, really powerful strategy for marketing. And it's something I see many, many therapists dabble in, but few do really, really well. Blogging is really, really powerful, and let's just kind of talk about why in general, why blogging is a good idea. SEO aside, which is what we're going to get into, but SEO aside, why is blogging a good marketing strategy? Number one, it establishes you as an expert. It shows people that you know what you're talking about. On a specialty page of your website, you're going to talk a little bit about how you know what your ideal client is experiencing and give a summary of how you're going to help solve those problems, but you're not really getting into and showing them the fact that you have experience in this space and what you know and tips they can apply to their life. That's where blogging comes in. It shows people that you're legit, that you're an expert in this space, and that's one of the determining factors in them deciding if they're going to work with you at all, and especially if you're in a private pay situation, you want to raise your rates, anything like that, blogging is a great way to show that authority. Next up, it keeps your website current and engaging. There is nothing like landing on a website and hopping over to a blog section and there not being a post since like 2018. You're like, are they even still in business? Or same with going to a social media channel or going to a website that just feels like there's no one there. Do you know that feeling? So blogging is a really great way to keep your website current and engaging. You can bring in your most recent blog post on your homepage so that something is always changing in a section of your homepage. It keeps things engaging and current. It also allows you to nurture relationship with people. A lot of times people are going to land on your website for the first time and not book you right away, right? They might just be in the early stages of deciding if they're ready for therapy or trying to get some education, and blogging helps do that. Blogging helps establish relationship with these people and nurture the relationship and position yourself again as an expert before they decide if they're even ready to work with you. You become memorable because you're putting out content that they can consume before even becoming a client of yours. And last but not least, one of the reasons blogging is so powerful, this might be one of the biggest ones out of these four items, is that it creates natural networking opportunities. What does that mean? It means that if you're putting content out there onto the internet, that content creates absolute automatic opportunities to be shareable. It creates opportunities for you to reach out and guest post on places or to submit your articles to other publications and have them listed there. That's a really, really great way to get your name out there. Networking is about growing your circle. Right now you have a circle of professional and personal contacts, and when you network, you get access to those people's circles and those people's circles and those people's circles, and all of a sudden you have this large network. Blogging is a really great way to build that network in a really natural way because your blogs are already valuable on their own. It makes it easy to reach out to someone and to offer to guest post or to submit an article or something like that. So that is why blogging is powerful in general. But why is it powerful for SEO? That's what we're here about today. Why is it powerful SEO? It gives you more ranking opportunities. What does that mean? Every blog post that you write can be targeted towards something that someone is searching for on Google. Now, if all you have are the 5 pages of your website, home, about, a couple specialty pages, and a contact page, you only have 5 opportunities there to really target what we would call a primary keyword. And that's not to say that you can't rank for other things. A website can rank for a lot of different things depending on what you've written on that site, but the more content you create on your website, the more opportunity for Google to read your site, to realize you're an expert in something, and to show you in results when people come searching. It also shows Google that your website is current. This isn't just important for clients, this is important for Google too. If Google sees that a website isn't updated as often, it's not going to index it as often. That means it's not going to be spending time looking at your content as often, and that can be detrimental. Next up, it allows for internal linking. So that means linking from one page of your website to another page of your website. This is, again, a powerful SEO strategy. It strengthens the threads of your website that make it up. And blogging is a great way to do that. You can reference back to a post that you've talked about, this topic last month or last year or something like that. And networking equals backlinks. Backlinks are so powerful for SEO. So when you go to someone and you offer to guest post or you submit an article or something like that, you are putting your website out on other people's websites. And if you can get linked on other websites back to yours, that's called a backlink. It's seen by Google like a vote of confidence. If someone else is talking about this website, they must know what they're talking about. And so networking and through blogging is a really powerful way to grow those backlinks. And backlinks are one of the determining factors for many therapists on how well they rank, simply because of sort of the competitiveness of this space. So networking is really powerful for backlinking, which is powerful for SEO. So that's why blogging is a really, really great thing in general for marketing and for SEO. Let's now get into how to optimize your individual blog posts. If you're currently blogging or you're thinking about starting, make sure, write down these 6 things I'm going to walk through and just create a checklist. Make sure that every single post you're writing is using each of these 6 things, and you'll start to see some better traction when it comes to how SEO friendly your blog posts and ultimately your website are. The very first one is don't write about just anything. Please don't write about just anything. I'm sure you have some great ideas, and your great ideas are probably SEO friendly, but you need to do some research first. You want to write about things that people are searching for, right? And there's a way to write about things that people are searching for and to display your expertise. We want to do those together. Otherwise, you're going to lose out on the ranking opportunity, and you're only going to be seen by people that find your blog in another way. We don't want that. So choose topics by doing your research first. One of the easiest ways you can do that is to Google your topic. If you're wanting to write about work stress during the pandemic, type it into Google. See what's going on there. If you're wanting to write about anxiety in children, type that into Google. See what other blog posts are out there around this. 2 of my other favorite tools, my number 1 absolute favorite for blog topics is called Answer the Public, answerthepublic.com. And there you can type in 1 to 2 keywords, so that might be work stress, into Answer the Public, and you will be given thousands, in some cases, at least hundreds, hopefully, of potential topics and questions that people are asking Google about. So you can know that if you choose a couple items from there, that you're going to be writing in a way that is associated with people's search behavior. So that when you're writing about this thing, we actually know that people are out looking for it. And that is the marriage that we're looking for when it comes to your blog topics. So number 1, don't write about just anything. Do your research first. Number 2, focus on 1 to 2 keywords to incorporate into your content. So let's use that example of work stress. Maybe the 2 keywords you decide to use are work stress during pandemic and work stress effects. When we know that people are looking for the effects of work stress, so that's what they're typing into Google. So those are the 2 kind of keywords that we want to use in your blog post. So the very first place you can use that is the title, right? So don't be cutesy and super creative, like how to stop crying in the office bathroom, as compelling as that is. Instead, how to combat work stress during the pandemic. Now we have work stress during pandemic in your title. Think of ways that you can incorporate that search term, that keyword, into the title of your blog post, because that's one of the first places Google is looking to see, hey, what is this post even about? Then weave those keywords and related ones. We want to do this really, really naturally. That's something that I really want to make sure we understand, that Google is going to sniff out if you are just what we call keyword stuffing and just trying to insert this term over and over and over. But if you're talking about work stress, stress at work, things like that are going to naturally make their way into the content. So just be mindful of that. Think about how you can weave in those words throughout your content. And write title tags and meta descriptions for your blog posts. If you're not sure what those are, title tags are the big blue links that you see when you search things on Google. Meta descriptions are the short descriptions below. So if you right now were to type in therapist in Nashville, you would see a very long list, and the blue links, the main ones that you would click on, that's called the title tag. And then the short description, where I decide if I'm going to click in or not, is called the meta description. So you can write title tags and meta descriptions for every single one of your blog posts, and this is another great place to include your keyword. So make sure that your title tag says something like how to combat work stress during the pandemic, and then perhaps your meta description says something like work stress is very common, especially right now. Here are 6 ways you can combat it without upsetting your boss or something like that, right? That's where we've weaved in some of those words. And now if someone finds your blog on Google, if it shows up on those search results, they're going to be compelled to go ahead and click in. If your site is on WordPress, you can use the Yoast plugin to go ahead and write your title tag and meta description. If you're on Squarespace, they allow you also to write a title tag and meta description. They call it the SEO title and the SEO description for each one of your blog posts. So no matter what platform you're on, you're hopefully able to do that. Those are the ways with the 2 big ones, WordPress and Squarespace. But use these keywords. Be mindful of what people are searching for and weave it into how you talk about the content and how you present your blog post. Next up, number 3, use headings. Headings are the larger text throughout your post. So instead of your post just being these long dissertations, big blocks of just copy, break it up so that it's visually easier to read and starts to incorporate and show Google what this is actually about by strategically naming those sections of your post. So maybe it's, work stress during the pandemic is your title, and then your different sections are what are the effects of work stress, how to combat work stress, tips when work stress becomes, overwhelming or something like that. Maybe those are the headings, or, however you decide to kind of structure the post, you're showing Google what the main topics of the post are. So again, you're giving Google kind of some indicators of what this post is all about, and the easier you can make it for Google to know, the easier they're going to be able to rank you for those types of things. So number 3 is use headings. Number 4, write enough. Sometimes I'll head over to a therapist blog and it'll be a really cool topic that I'm excited about, and then I read it and it's super short. It's like 3 paragraphs. To rank on Google and for just SEO writing in general, generally longer is better. Now that's not to say you just need to write and write and write for the sake of writing and writing and writing. We want you to write something that is clear and valuable to the people that are reading it, but blog posts should at minimum be 300 words. That's on the short side. You have better chances of ranking when you're 1,000 plus. So if you're writing down, if you're sitting down to write a topic and you're struggling to get that much down, then maybe you need to expand your topic a little bit, or maybe you need to think about a different approach or do some additional research so that it becomes robust enough that it's useful for your readers and also useful and compelling to Google. Because think of what Google is up against, right? When someone searches something into Google, they want to give the best possible answer. And if someone's looking for something about work stress and it's just this short little article, this, kind of dinky little article, Google probably is going to trust that enough to actually show it to someone. They want to show them something that's actually going to get them the solution that they're looking for, the information that they're looking for. So number 4 is to write enough. Make sure those blog posts are long enough. Next up, link to other pages on your website. I talked about this, about why blogging is powerful for SEO. Make sure that you're referencing things in your blog post. If you're writing a post about depression and you have a depression specialty page, make sure you're doing a good job of linking people over there. Or if maybe you've written a prior post, that's on a similar topic. Maybe this is about work stress during the pandemic, but you've written one about, work stress for moms or something. Make reference to that and include a link back to that post from within the blog post. Again, that's going to build what are called your internal links, which are powerful from an SEO perspective. Again, it's sort of those threads in your website. So number 5 is to link to other pages of your website. And number 6, be consistent. Be consistent. Like I said, inactive websites are not crawled by Google as often, and that can negatively affect your ranking. So don't start blogging if you can't stick to it. And that's something, when people are like, oh, I'm thinking about blogging, I'm like, great, blogging is awesome. Are you ready to blog? Are you ready to commit to this at least 1 to 2 posts per month? And if the answer is, I don't know, then maybe consider, kind of a different avenue. Maybe use Facebook or something like that, where you could break up what would be one long post into multiple posts throughout a week or a month or something like that. But it is critical that you are very consistent, posting at least 1 to 2 times per month. Ideally, up to once per week would be incredible, but I know you are a busy person. So shoot for at least that 1 to 2 posts per month. One of the best ways to do that is to batch your content. I'm not sure if you've heard that term before. It's a great time management strategy where maybe in the first 3 days of the month or something like that, you sit down and you write your blog post for the month. So you sit down on a Tuesday, you write 2 blog posts. On Wednesday, you decide what your topics are going to be for, you do your research for the topics for the next month, and then you sit down and you write those the next month. However you want to batch things together, that's a really great way to do it. You can get it all up and scheduled so that it'll just go live on your website at the date that you've decided, and all of a sudden you have these posts that are keeping your website current without you having to write, on a Tuesday night in order to post on a Wednesday morning. So be consistent is that last one. So let's review our six ways to optimize your blog post for SEO. Number 1, don't write about just anything. Do your research. That's the most important thing here, because if you're not writing about something people are searching for, then the rest of this is kind of null. Number 2, focus on 1 to 2 keywords and incorporate those into your content. Number 3, use headings. Number 4, write enough. Number 5, link to other pages on your website. And number 6, be consistent. Those are 6 of the best ways you can optimize your blog post for SEO. Now, there are a number of other tips you can employ. There's, SEO is a very deep and wide kind of black hole, as I call it the wild, wild west. But these are 6 tangible things that you can do every single time you sit down to write a blog post. So if you're thinking about adding this strategy, or if you've been blogging and you're ready to take it to the next level, this is a great place to start, so that we know that you're writing not just for your users, because they are your number 1 audience, but also in a way that Google is going to appreciate and ultimately reward you for. So friends, I hope this was helpful. I don't think I saw any comments come in, which is totally fine. However, if you're blogging or you want someone to take a look at your post, or you have some questions, don't hesitate to pop those in the comments. As always, I love getting to kind of hang out with you here in the group, answer questions, give thoughts, that sort of thing. So if anything comes to mind, don't hesitate to drop it in there, and I will see you next week.